did that still. And saw a video that I never saw yet. So yeah, I watched it, and it's a pretty good video. But the thing is, though, I'm not thinking. I mean, I have thought about it, but I'm not going to do it. I have thought about doing it, but I'm not going to. It's just not worth it. It just seems a little risky for me to even do that. If I was getting paid, then yeah, I'd do that. But since I'm not getting paid, I'm not going to even attempt to do it. Right? That's something I definitely have to get paid. That that's actually something I would actually would want to get paid for. Because I would never do that. I mean,
Times Square, a symphony of.
but I mean, all the stuff I've done over the years, I would never. Yeah, if I was getting paid, I'd do that. But since I don't get paid, I'm not going to do that. You'd have to pay me $100 a video for me to do that. And the way I look and stuff, I don't think the videos would do good.
Times Square.
That's one thing I have in common with Zubul, I think. I mean, Zubul looks more better than I do, but I have a problem with. Yeah, but I have a problem with that. I think. I think. Yeah, that's why I don't do those videos for because I just don't feel comfortable doing them. I don't feel like doing them, man. I wouldn't have felt. I mean, actually, you kind of think I had a gangle. I had like a lifelike gangle for about a week,
Times Square, a symphony of screens.
but it's different.
Over 300,000 square feet of LEDs with lights so bright you. Times Square, a
It was interesting.
Times Square, a symphony of screens. Over 100,000 square feet of LEDs with lights so bright you can see them from outer space.
Wow.
Over 1 billion people see these screens on TV when the ball drops on New Year's Eve. But how many know that those screens aren't just for advertising? In fact, they're required by law. I'm Michael Weitzner. I've been an architect in New York City for over 35 years. And today, we're taking a walking tour of...
Required by law for what? They're required by law. When did this come out?
Times Square.
This came out yesterday. Okay. I'm going to go get a water because this is an interesting video. This is interesting. I'm learning something interesting about Times Square. So I've never seen this video before, guys. So when did these billboards come out? Is the question. Well, we're gonna find out.
And shining a light on how it became known as the crossroads of the world.
Times Square. I'm watching Times Square. This came out yesterday. There's 82 videos. 82K have seen this video before. Came out yesterday. I have not seen this before. Let's see, why are there billboards are required by law? It's been about Times Square in New York. I had not seen this video before. This came out yesterday. Like 82 views. So I'm learning something interesting. Why Times Square's billboards are required by law. Walking tour, achieving digitized. I have not seen it. It came out yesterday. So you've seen it yesterday because it came out yesterday. 82,000 people have seen this video yesterday when it came out. I have not seen this yet, so I'm going to see it and see how it is. It's like 15 minutes long, so we're going to see it and see what happens because this is kind of interesting. Because I could Google the answer I want to know, but if he doesn't know the answer, if he doesn't, I'm going to have to Google the answer I want. But how long have those guys been there for? I mean, they've been there since at least the 90s, Oliver and Company. I mean, I know what the last one was added was when that one was added. There was two of them. The last two were added was back in 2001, and then there was added that tried to have a new company out.
The bright lights and flashing billboards in Times Square aren't just about maximizing advertising dollars. They are actually required by law. Every
Required by law. I don't understand how that could be. I'm gonna turn this up. I'm reacting. Why are they required by law? Or it might be a little loud. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit to 20. I'm curious.
The bright lights and flashing billboards in Times Square aren't just about maximizing advertising dollars. They are actually required by law. Every renovation or new construction project in Times Square is subject to a New York City zoning resolution from 2011. This resolution not only mandates that every construction project in the Times Square area include at least one illuminated sign, but it also lays out exactly how large they are required to be. Buildings on Broadway or 7th Avenue now legally must create 50 square feet of illuminated signs for every 1 linear foot of building facade facing the street. For example, 3 Times Square has 200 linear feet of street frontage along 7th Avenue. So it was required to include at least 10,000 square feet of illuminated signs. And I should know because our firm designed the first 11 floors of this building in 2022. But why does New York City want so many billboards? After all, other U.S. cities like Houston and Denver have passed laws against building new billboards. So whose bright idea was this resolution requiring these massive electric signs? It might seem obvious that advertisers would want a piece of the most famous public plaza in the world. But the real reason for the billboard mandate is less about revenue and more about historic preservation. And we're not talking about preserving the architecture, we're talking about preserving the character of Times Square. Times Square has been known for lighted signs since 1904, when O.J. Good designed the Trimble Whiskey sign for the Studebaker building at the north end of Times Square. He had been making lighted signs up and down Broadway, and realized that the unique bow tie shape of Times Square created a perfect view corridor to the building, making it an ideal spot for high visibility advertising. O.J. Good created many of the iconic early signs in Times Square, which he called spectaculars. Over the years, Times Square has been known for its elaborate and bright advertisements that built on his designs, including the Camel cigarette sign, Cup of Noodles, Coca-Cola, and many more. So the 2011 resolution wasn't about introducing bright lights, but it was about preserving and expanding them. And in fact, it's actually just the most recent update to a resolution first proposed in 1986 by then Mayor Ed Koch. As recently as the 1980s, Times Square was not a family-friendly, brand-safe advertiser's paradise. It was considered the seedy underbelly of New York City. A red light district filled with drugs and
I'm learning something interesting.
And expanding them. And in fact, it's actually just the most recent update to a resolution first proposed in 1986 by then Mayor Ed Koch. As recently as the 1980s, Times Square was not a family-friendly, brand-safe advertiser's paradise. It was considered the seedy underbelly of New York City, a red light district filled with drugs and theaters showing adult films. But the 1986 resolution rezoned the area, which forced out the adult establishments. It also called for even more electric signs. The idea was to maintain the character of Times Square as a literal spot in the heart of Manhattan. Increase public safety by creating well-lit streets to deter crime. This zoning resolution started a domino effect, ultimately resurrecting Times Square from the sketchy part of town to a family-friendly global attraction. And one of the most visited public spaces in the world, with around 50 million visitors every year. It is also the site of one of New York's most famous traditions, the ball drop on New Year's Eve. And in fact, that celebration is directly connected to how Times Square got its name, literally. This building behind me is One Times Square, where the ball drops on New Year's Eve. It's potentially the most valuable piece of real estate in New York City, and definitely the most expensive advertising space in Times Square. One estimate put the revenue that it earns from advertising on its billboards at over $23 million a year. This building is really the spark that lit up Times Square as we know it today, even though when it was first built, it did not have any illuminated signs at all. It was designed by Cyrus L.W. Eadlitz and Andrew C. Mackenzie, and it was built in 1904 to be the headquarters of the New York Times. The owner of the New York Times, Adolph Oakes, also pushed to have a subway stop right here on 42nd Street that was connected directly to the building. This is because the Times was printing their newspaper on site, and this connection to the subway system made it faster to distribute the paper throughout the city. To find
Okay.
out more about this, we caught up with Michael Phillips of Jamestown, which owns and operates One Times Square.
This was the first headquarters of New York Times. They printed the newspapers in the building and then took them down into the three subcellars and onto the distribution lines of the subway. So all of this sort of evolved together as an early
Okay, it makes sense now.
dissemination of the news throughout the city.
But the side effect of building this station was that it brought more foot traffic to the area, which helped to shift the cultural center of New York further uptown. Because the New York Times was here, people began gathering here to get their news. And the building became a part of many iconic moments in history, leading to the status of Times Square as the crossroads of the world. In 1919, World Series updates were given to massive crowds watching a mechanical scoreboard on the Times Tower. And in 1928, the Times building would get its first electric sign. The iconic news zipper, or ticker, which broadcast headlines to people on the street. It wrapped 380 feet around the Times Tower and was 5 feet tall, making headlines visible for blocks. At the end of World War II, crowds filled Times Square to celebrate VJ Day. But maybe the most enduring contribution of One Times Square to the world happens every year at midnight on December 31st. As we understand it, on December 31st, 1903, there were fireworks on top of this building. But then you said something really interesting, that they had to change to a ball drop because...
At the end of 1906, they outlawed fireworks in the city of New York for fear of fire, and that gave way to designing the first New Year's Eve ball, which we have a replica of in the History Experience, which was quite a small but mighty ball at the time. And now we are into the evolution of the New Year's Eve ball. You'll see the most recent one that went up for New Year's 25-26.
Huh. This is interesting stuff. If you guys are wondering, the dental went perfectly. Dental thing went great, so everything's okay. There might be a surprise Sunday. There might be a surprise happening this Sunday. I can't say what though, but this Sunday, something surprising might happen. What, Tyler? I can't say, because I don't even know if I'm going to do it this Sunday. This Sunday is something special that's going to happen. Maybe. I can't confirm or deny it, but this Sunday, something special might be happening. That's all I can say. It's something you guys, if you guys remember the channel, and you've been with me for a few years, you know. Last year we did it, and I was in pain. Last year I was so swollen. I still did it last year. I was swollen, though. This year we're going to do it again like we do every year.
So the ball has over 5,000 crystals.
We'll see.
Possible
Last year I was in so much pain and I had trouble doing
an air
it.
conditioning system that ran 24 hours a day in the old ball to keep it cool because of incandescent light technology.
Right.
So now with LED technology, we have over twice the crystals and far more programmability to send messages out.
How many people globally watch the ball drop?
So we have over 1 billion people watching New Year's Eve. And in the square, we usually have over 1 million. And so in terms of impressions, both on streaming and broadcast, gamification with partners like Fortnite, with our streaming in those channels, it's quite an extraordinary eye count.
That's incredible. So that's like 1/8 of the world's population is watching
Indeed.
this event every year.
And it's even more amplified throughout the year because of social media and reposts of photos. And
Oh,
it's
Roku
why
building.
Times Square is such a productive brand and advertising commitment for people.
So tell us about the history of the electronic billboards and all the billboards
Sure.
that Times Square has become famous for.
Well, so originally they were wheat paste on board, and then they became mechanical. Things like the cup of soup or mechanical arms
Mr. Peanut!
moving. And really, in the early 2000s, the signs started to be replaced with digital technology, and the pixels became tighter, and you could get a better resolution. We went to an all-digitized form. In the early 2000s, the signs
We were doing analog.
The history of the electronic billboards and all the billboards
Sure.
that Times Square has become famous for.
Well, so originally they were wheat paste on board, and then they became mechanical. Things like the cup of soup or mechanical arms moving. And really, in the early 2000s, the signs started to be replaced with digital technology, and the pixels became tighter, and you could get a better resolution. We went to an all-digitized format in the mid-teens, And at the same time, Times Square had an initiative to sync all the buildings in the square. So now there's something called Midnight Moment. For art takeovers or nonprofit events, you can take over all the signs in the square at once. And that's really a great innovation that's come through digitization.
In 1913, the newspaper outgrew the building and moved its headquarters to West 43rd Street. But the Times still owned the building until 1961, when it was sold to a company called Allied Chemical. Allied Chemical tore off the original facade, such a shame, taking everything down to the studs, or in this case, down to the steel girders. But that was the last major renovation. In 1996, the famous electronic billboards were installed on the north facade. And in 2025, a $550 million renovation created a 360-degree viewing platform, as well as a museum dedicated to the history of Times Square.
The building really kind of never found itself as a space to occupy for people again. It became more of a signpost over the years. And really for the last sort of 75 years has been fully vacant. So we've been calling this a 21st Century Visitor Center for New York City. The building will be 22 floors of experiences that start with a VIP history and experience of the New Year's Eve ball.
But despite the extensive transformation of the building, the original structural skeleton of One Times Square is still there, buried in a cocoon of progress. And in fact, if it weren't for this building, Times Square wouldn't even exist. It was only after the Times moved in 1904 that the area became known as Times Square. And if that never happened, this intersection would still be known by its original name, Longacre Square.
Huh. Hello.
This is the Winter Garden Theater, one of the most iconic theaters of New York's Broadway district. It has been the home of iconic Broadway staples like Mamma Mia, Cats, and the first musical adaptation of Peter Pan. But before this area became the heart of the theater district in New York City, this building hosted another iconic New York event, horse auctions. In the late 1800s, cars were not yet common, and the city was highly dependent on horses and horse-drawn carriages.
I don't know,
And so the
Xbox
horse and carriage
games.
industry was vital to the city, and it was housed here in what was then called Longacre Square. It was actually named after a square in London, also called Longacre, because that was the center of the horse and carriage trade across the pond as well. One of the richest families in New York at the time, the Vanderbilts, commissioned the American Horse Exchange, which was the original name for the building that now houses the Winter Garden.
I tried Minecraft,
This
okay.
building was converted to a theater in 1911, and a giant billboard-style marquee was added to advertise the shows that were being played inside. The sign today occupies the same space as the Winter Garden Theater continues to host Broadway shows over 100 years later. It is one of the few theaters from the early 1900s that still survives. After many others were destroyed in the name of progress, as Times Square continued its evolution from the mud and muck of the horse market to the glitz and glamour of today.
Wow.
Behind this massive electronic billboard that stretches an entire city block is the New York Marriott Marquis.
I tried VR, it doesn't work that well.
Building, 5 original Broadway theaters were demolished, an event that has been called the Great Theater Massacre of 1982. It's a bit ironic that the hotel is named the Marquis, since it actually destroyed the lighted marquees of some of Broadway's oldest theaters. The Astor, Bijou, Gaiety, Helen Hayes, and Morosco theaters were all razed to make way for the largest hotel.
I tried VR, it doesn't work.
Today. This building embodies an entire city block. And with a street frontage of 207 linear feet on Broadway, it is required to have more than 10,000 square feet of illuminated signs. A goal which it not only meets, but exceeds with a 25,000 square foot electric billboard. And while this building may be blamed for destroying some of Broadway's oldest theaters, it actually follows a tradition of hotels in Times Square that gave birth to the idea.
I tried it. It worked. I had a VR app. It didn't really work that well. It worked and it didn't work, so nah, it really didn't work.
Over my shoulder is the Knickerbocker Hotel. It was designed by a firm called Marin and Davis, with Bruce Price, a prolific New York architect, who was also an early influence of Frank Lloyd Wright. You may notice the lack of electric signs. That's because it was built in 1906, long before any zoning resolution required them. And this building really is a testament to the family of New York royalty who foresaw the potential of Times Square back when it was still farmland. The Astor family bought a large tract of land in the early 1800s on Manhattan's Upper West Side that included this area along Broadway. At that time, Upper Manhattan was undeveloped, and this area was known as Great Kill. Kill being the Dutch word for stream or river or creek. It was largely pastoral and disconnected from what was then the heart of the city near modern-day Wall Street. In fact, the theater district in those days was clustered around Union Square, almost 30 blocks south of here.
Wow.
In the 1870s, construction began on the first Grand Central Depot, the predecessor of the modern Grand Central Terminal, and as chance would have it, was due east of here. And when Adolph Oakes convinced the city to include a subway stop here in Times Square, the Astors saw the potential to make good on their early investment. By this time, the Astor family had broken that land up into smaller plots and distributed them among various heirs to the family fortune. John Jacob Astor IV built the Knickerbocker Hotel, while William Waldorf Astor built the Astor Hotel just across the way. With two beautiful new hotels, cheap undeveloped land, and a brand new subway stop connecting Times Square to the heart of the city, theaters saw the opportunity to move in and build palaces to the dramatic arts. By 1928, Times Square had nearly 70 theaters and was unquestionably the theater capital of the United States. But the stock market crash of 1929 took a great toll on this area. During the Great Depression, fewer people were able to afford the theater or stay at these grand hotels. Hotel Astor was demolished, but the Knickerbocker survives as an example of the first era of Times Square's iconic status in the popular conscience. And also its enduring legacy that still draws people from around the world to bask in the bright lights of Broadway.
That was interesting. So since day one, practically. So since day one. Okay, that's interesting.
You know, the Oval Office is one of the most powerful.
Now to rumbles felt downriver this morning, the result of a 2.9 magnitude earthquake in Amherstburg on
Old Spice gentleman. Guess I've always been a gentleman.
Now to rumbles felt downriver this morning, the result of a 2.9 magnitude earthquake in Amherstburg, Ontario. Now to rumbles felt downriver this morning, the result of a 2.9 magnitude earthquake in Amherstburg, Ontario. That's about 15 miles directly south of Detroit. And according to the U.S. Geological Survey, it happened around 10:30. There are reports of people feeling it across the downriver area, Canada, and even as far south as Toledo. Hundreds flooded our comment section on Facebook, reporting hearing loud booms in Trenton, Grosse Ile, Riverview, and more. Larry Williams in Woodhaven said he heard and felt the vibration before his shower curtain fell. I caught up with Robert Brown from Riverview, who also felt the rumble.
I thought my neighbor hit my house because he parked his truck next to our house real close, and he was moving at the same time. So I heard it, and I ran outside. I was going to go yell at him, and I found out it wasn't him. So I don't know what it was, but the whole house did shake. And then, like 15, 20 minutes later, my wife says, "Hey, that noise you heard, that was an earthquake." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." She says, "Yeah, it was a 2.9. Came out of Canada."
Did you ever think you would ever feel an earthquake at your house in Riverview?
No.
Your teeth fixed. We're gonna get his teeth fixed.
Hey everybody, and welcome to today's episode. As you will see right behind me, I am standing at the last remaining Kmart in the contiguous United States of America. Now, I believe there's still a Kmart in Guam, and there's still a couple of Kmarts in St. Thomas in the United States Virgin Islands. But other than those U.S. territories, this is the last remaining Kmart in the United States, right here in Miami, Florida. We have many great memories of Kmart growing up. In fact, we didn't even have a Walmart for the longest time. The closest town to the farm that I grew up on only had a Kmart. No Walmart until maybe like the late 80s, maybe early 90s. And so we always went to Kmart. My wife Jennifer, the first necklace I ever bought her, it was from Kmart back in college. So a lot of great memories of Kmart. So come along with me, and we're going to go check it out. And by the way, a couple fun facts. Kmart has been around actually since 1899. It was called the Kresge Company back then. And the Kresge Company was a five and dime. And then in 1962, in Michigan, It became a department store that we've come to know and love, and then they grew into super centers, and now we're right here.
Hey, it's like that song Raspberry Beret that Prince sings. A five and dime.
The last remaining. So let's go see what it's all about.
Long before the big box era, Kmart began as the S.S. Kresge Company. In 1899, Sebastian Kresge opened his first five and dime store in Detroit, Michigan. For decades, Kresge's
Garden
thrived
City
as a variety store, but in the late 1950s, management saw the writing on the wall. The suburbs were expanding, and shoppers wanted everything under
Five and
one
dime.
roof. By 1962, the first Kmart discount department store opened in Garden City, Michigan.
Yep.
Notably, this was also the same year that Walmart, Target, and Kohl's all launched. By the 1970s and the 1980s, Kmart was the undisputed king of discount retail. It wasn't just a store, it was a cultural touchstone. In 1965, Kmart introduced the Blue Light Special, which was a stroke of marketing genius. If you're not familiar with the Blue Light Special, it involved a store manager who would light up a mobile blue police light and announce over the intercom, "Attention Kmart shoppers." This created a sense of urgency and fun that defined the shopping experience for a generation. At its peak in the early 1990s, Kmart operated over 2,000 stores. However, Kmart failed to modernize its inventory systems and was slow to embrace the e-commerce revolution. Compared to some of its competitors, such as Walmart, who invested heavily in logistics and supply chain technology, which allowed them to underprice Kmart consistently, and Target, who began branding itself as cheap chic, which attract younger
Target's
consumers, while Kmart felt
Target's too damn expensive. How about Myers? Myers is a good company. Hello.
increasingly dated.
So this is it, guys. From here all the way down to here. And it used to be an old lawn and garden center. And up until a few months ago, you used to be able to go back to these doors
Just
that
for
were now
fun.
employees only.
Just having some fun. Just watching some random stuff, guys. Just killing time watching random stuff. And I just connect the dots from that Prince song, Raspberry Beret. I'm doing pretty good. I just thought of it. The song Raspberry Beret makes more sense now. The song Raspberry Beret makes more sense now. Because Prince bought his Raspberry Beret from Kmart.
Your dry skin, fully exposed. So I demand CeraVe.
I just noticed. I just got it. I just got the joke now. I just got the hint. This guy has told us the hint. What I mean. What it means. But yeah, I'm just gonna kill some time right now. Have some fun.
And there used to be even more back here, but let's start off. They have some fly swatters and plungers. Back here, some basic.
With five and dime, Raspberry Beret.
Goods.
I mean, come on. Come on. It's good to know the Kmart's still around. Sad though that if you're like me, it's sad that you lose your childhood's now gone.
The early 2000s were chock full of all kinds of colorful reality television. MTV was a major contributor
Which is now
to the
gone.
genre,
MTV's now
if you
gone.
can even call it that. Even the name of this so-called genre, reality TV, is debatably accurate. The only thing real about a lot of the shows were the cameras being used to film them.
One popular subgenre of reality TV was to take a bad-looking thing and make it good. Home makeovers, wardrobe overhauls, and in the case of Pimp My Ride, exhibit taking your car and putting a hot tub in it for some reason. Just what everyone needs on their daily commute.
Oh!
And apparently they made a Pimp My Ride.
I had the game. The game
Once they did,
sucked.
And you guys have been recommending it to us for years, so today we're finally
That game
checking it
sucked. That game sucked.
MTV Games.
I should have
Is
kept the
that
game
true?
and
Was
uploaded it to
MTV
YouTube.
Games also in charge of Jackass, the game?
I don't think so. I don't. They might have just made one game and then just fucked off.
You see this? Yeah, it's my city. It's called Pimp City.
It's called Pimp City, dude.
Pimp City. I've never been to Pimp City, have you?
Pimp City, USA. No, I've never been there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, this car's gonna get pimped, dude. There he is!
He's putting a jacuzzi in that one. It has the perfect little area for a jacuzzi. That's a completely different car exhibit.
I want you to set up shop here in Pimp City for a while and see if you can turn this automotive challenge city around and what the people of Pimp City rides in shape.
Oh my god, he's terrifying. He's honestly horrifying. I don't like Exhibit. Wow, this might be the most early 2000s game that was ever made.
Yeah, this just captures the vibe of...
It's oozing.
It oozes early 2000s MTV,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a jacuzzi in your car energy.
It really does. And we're going to make sure your car insurance bill is through the roof now because you have a fucking jacuzzi and a GameCube in your trunk.
I thought it was PlayStation.
In your back seat. This is like a nice little palate cleanser from Two Worlds, you know?
I've never seen that much Pimp My Ride over the years.
2000s MTV, I'm gonna put a jacuzzi in your car energy.
It really does. And we're going to make sure your car insurance bill is through the roof now because you have a fucking jacuzzi and a GameCube in your trunk. We put an aquarium in your back seat. This is like a nice little palate cleanser from Two Worlds, you know?
Oh yeah, it's hopefully we're in store for some PS2 goodness. We've been missing out on PS2 goodness.
I had an Xbox version of this
It's been a
game,
while since we've played
360
PS2.
version of this game.
Oh, no, it hasn't. Her interests are modeling and fashion.
And salsa dancing.
We filled your trunk with salsa.
We put a regulation dancing rink. What do you call it? A rink? I don't know what you would call it.
The 72 Ransacker, a classic car.
Is that a real car?
No.
Speaking of rides, I know you don't have one.
What's this one? Is this not mine?
No, that's Exhibit's ride, dude.
Oh.
It's a pimped out Bentley. Although, I don't think they have access to any actual cars in this game. I think they're just going to make up random ones.
This is your navigation system. It'll help you get around Pimp City and show places of interest as you find them.
It's open world?
Of course it is, dude. This is Pimp City. Pimp City's open world.
Look at this, dude.
Wow, can you run people over? That's just what I think instantly.
I'm missed.
Look at him. Look how he walks, dude. That's how people walk in Pimp City.
Press circle to start the hot stepping event.
What the fuck is happening?
I'm hot stepping in someone else's car.
Are we gonna play as Exhibit, or do we get to, like, we didn't even get to customize our character or anything. Who's that guy?
Who is this Exhibit?
This is just some guy.
Oh, Ghost Ride the Whip.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he's bussing down. He's starting to kind of look like the Australian breakdancer at the Olympics. Maybe slightly better. Maybe slightly better.
He's got like a ghostly blur around him following him.
He has a purple aura, dude. Look at his purple aura.
Okay, well, we succeeded. That was an easy minigame. That was probably the easiest minigame I've ever played.
Yeah, and we played a Charlie Brown game for babies. Okay, so that was a pretty exciting minigame. But I'm assuming that's not the, like, bulk of the gameplay, right? You'd assume it would be about pimping rides.
I gotta pimp some rides, right?
Oh my god, that drift. That was slick. Oh my god, they magnetized to the wall.
They've got crazy reflexes in Pimp City. You gotta be careful because there's a lot of crazy people driving cars here. Pete.
Oh, you get money for smashing into people, apparently.
I get money, or do I lose it?
Yeah, you got some money.
Whee!
Oh, you killed a family of 5. Is this how Exhibit makes money for Pimp My Ride on MTV?
Yeah, he just slams into other people's cars.
These are some freaky Fortnite emotes, I'll tell you that. I actually can't believe what I'm seeing. I'm almost like speechless.
This is kind of brilliant. Wait, what? Why did I not get perfect?
You're doing basic moves. We only need 1,000 more bucks, and then we can totally pimp out a ride for the first time.
Easy, easy. I'm gonna pimp out this ride. Well, I won't touch this ride because this is Exhibit's ride.
Don't forget to smash into the innocent people to get money.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. This game didn't even have a warning at the beginning that said, don't do anything that you see in this game, please. For the love of God.
P-I-M-P.
Pimping starts in 2 minutes. I'm gonna pimp.
What's going down?
What the f was that? It was like Bobby Hill's reaction to a surprise.
Yeah, I got hit on the side so the door doesn't open. So that's how I get into my truck. You just have to be careful that the glass doesn't get you when you climb through.
Oh my god, it's like it's like Saw. It's like you start to climb through broken glass just to drive.
Okay, you got business cards, bathing suits, a printer. What is it that you do again?
A printer.
This car looks different now.
Yeah, why is it not all busted up?
What happened to the printer?
It looks a lot nicer now. It's like chrome.
Yeah, it wasn't chrome before.
And you only got so
Ooh. Okay.
We've only got a certain amount of money though, so I'm just gonna go with the cheapest.
Yeah. Go with the go. It doesn't look bad, to be honest. The white
Nah,
isn't bad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what that little dip in the middle of the seat is. What the fuck? Am I installing it?
Oh my god, you're sewing it, dude. Figure it out. Figure out how to do it. You only have 3 seconds left. Get going.
I did it. I got a deal on it.
The sweatshop mini game.
All right, what do we need now? Mobile supplier. I'm not buying her a new phone. All right, I'm pimping her a ride out. Let's go get her on a nice plan with T-Mobile.
I'm for AT&T.
Sponsored by T-Mobile. Ooh, new rims. Okay, let's ball out on the rims, dude.
Oh no, I bought the cheap.
What? Those are shit. Oh my god, you got the shittest ones.
I've got a fucking plaster on my left thumb, so this is difficult. I cut my hand open trying to pimp my ride the other day, so it's going to be really hard for me to move the left analog stick.
Oh my god, dude, you got the shittest ones.
Ah, it's fine. She'll like it. She'll like it.
What about us? What if we don't like it? This is our art.
That's true. That's true. I should take more pride in my pimping.
Take some pride in our pimping, dude.
Okay, I'll get her a nice sewing machine that comes out of the bed.
What's the highest level one? Because we haven't given her anything nice.
They're actually putting a catwalk on
Oh
the
my
back of it.
god,
I was
yes.
joking
Yes.
when I said that earlier.
Yes, we're putting a catwalk. It's perfect.
That's it. What is this mini game? What the fuck
Just
is it?
you just click the button that shows up out of the muffler, and that's how you install car parts. We still have $3,000 to spend too, dude. By the way.
She could stand on the back of it while she's ghost riding the whip.
Oh my god, that you see? Now you're thinking like a true Pimp City expert.
No, I'm thinking, yeah. Let's get her a nice radio because she's going to be dancing in the back. Let's put a. That's tiny, dude.
It's a
Who the fuck is using
plasma screen.
It's like
Oh
Michael Scott's
my
plasma screen TV from The Office.
Is that the most expensive one? Sure.
That was the most expensive one. Why not?
So she can watch TikTok while she drives and put everyone's life in danger. We need a new color. We definitely need a new color.
Yeah, I need to paint this car, but I've also got a
Exhibit challenge.
Oh,
What does that mean?
it's the exhibit challenge.
Follow the arrow. Maybe that'll take us to the exhibit challenge.
The arrow tells me to go through the fucking railings. Is this the exhibit challenge?
I don't know.
What was that? It gave me more time. I won a special exhibit upgrade.
Oh. What does that even mean?
I don't know. Oh, now we get to choose paint.
Okay, something nice here.
Piss yellow.
Oh, the ugliest shade of yellow. That's perfect, dude. She's gonna love this. It's like a highlighter. This is a highlighter, dude.
That's highlighter yellow.
Oh my.
Oh, we're beating the rival though. Look at the health bars at the top.
Yeah, he's not doing so hot.
No.
He doesn't know what it takes to be a true legend in
miss
Pimp City. That was sad.
That was awful. That wasn't great. What is this? Oh, we
Ooh,
can
a
add
body kit.
rims and things. Yeah.
It's not rims,
Not
Max.
rims. Sorry, no, the rims are around the wheels.
Sorry, rims.
Sorry, exhibit.
This guy doesn't know anything about pimping.
Marcia, you remember your old ride, right? Man, it was finished. But not anymore. Take a look at your brand new ride.
Why is it? Oh, there's two.
Yeah, because the one on the left is the rivals. Apparently they duplicate the cars.
And check this out, Marcia. We gave you a brand new paint job.
Wow, that's great.
So what about the other pimp?
The other pimp looks the exact same.
Yeah, they copied our paint job for sure.
Who else would pick highlighter yellow? We picked it as a joke. They picked it seriously.
What a pen, man. What is this? Pimp poker?
What? What did he just say?
Oh my god.
What a pimp, man.
What is
What
this?
is this?
Pimp poker.
Pimp poker.
That a girl. You officially been pimped. Good work.
You okay? It's different, but you'll love it. Now go save some money.
My
Mike Rogers is one of us. He understands, and Rogers will rise above the line, not just for political points, but to deliver for families and drive down costs, stability, results, and a future where the American dream exists. Mike Rogers, Senate.
Cars.com's filters let you narrow down the car you want by the features you actually care about, like smartphone integration, automatic emergency braking, and blind spot monitoring, all on Cars.com. What do we do?
Find survivors. Everything's gonna be okay. Just gotta hold on.
Bailar.
Bailar. Yo bailo.
Bailo con gracia.
No hablo.
They copied so much of our flow on that one.
They copied it, but they copied it worse.
Ice.
Ice? What's that about? Why is there an exhibit bar? What's the exhibit bar?
We pimped her. Okay, congratulations, Marcia. We're on to Andrea.
Andrea with the Bruiser, the 84 Bruiser.
She likes music, shopping, and food.
Wait, we get to drive this one now?
We stole her car.
We stole. She was like, I actually don't want it. Can you
It's
take it back?
actually shit.
Why am I not on the catwalk at the back? I should be on the catwalk.
Oh my god, yeah, what the man? What was the point of putting that catwalk in if you're not even going to use it?
I also don't get why you can't, like, I don't know, pick from some preset characters or something.
Yeah, it's very strange. It just throws you in, but
Yeah. Oh well.
it doesn't even say who you are, like your name or anything.
No. Where
Pimpin' Paul.
Pimpin' Paul. He works for Exhibit on the show.
He
Pimpin' Paul.
does. Yeah, he's the mastermind behind Pimp My Ride. Exhibit is just the
He's just the host.
he's just the mascot, you know.
But Pimpin' Paul is the mastermind.
Yeah, it's like Ratatouille. You gotta smash into the cars, man.
Sorry.
We don't take it. There's no consequences from smashing into them.
That's true. Because car accidents and things are all covered by the city
Exactly.
of Pimp City.
Pimp City, there's so much money in the taxes that car accidents don't actually mean anything.
Exactly. They just pay you.
Why is it always horror music and then they scream?
I don't know. I don't get it.
I'm not a fan of how the people look also. It is just scary. Oh my god.
You go to the same places as well. So that's just this whole game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Come on, is it green?
Oh,
It has to be green.
there's no green, it's a highlighter. The blue is kind of nice. Ooh. Oh, that's terrible. Click that one.
That's nasty.
Do that.
That's nasty.
What even is that? What's it supposed to be? Like leopard?
I think it's supposed to be a cheetah, it said, but
Okay.
I mean, they didn't do a very good job at it.
No, and they'll copy us too. The rivals will pick the same one. This car's way faster than the truck, I will say.
It is, yeah. It
It's
is.
got a little bit more juice.
It's got a more oomph.
Yeah, it does. Maybe the 2-star one, I guess.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
halfway.
let's not go crazy, because who knows how expensive the shop in the back of it's going to
How
be.
much the barbecue in the back is gonna be. It looks like you have a little hood scoop on your car now, like a little vent. I wish you could see the front. Can you go to the?
Oh, I just boosted!
Oh. Okay, so we have boost. Well, that's good to know.
We put NOS in.
This is such a stupid. It's so dumb that you can't look at the front of your car or rotate around it.
I think I can. There we go.
Yeah, but you can't see the car. See, you see the top of his head. That's it. Fucking Pimpin' Paul. The rival is beating us right now, dude. We really got to put some nice rims on.
I'm gonna have to put some good rims on this time. For Pro Race carbon fiber rims,
Is that the maxed out one?
that was the best we could get.
Okay. If we install fast enough, we'll save a little bit on the cost. Nice.
I guess we saved a little bit, a few $100. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay, that put us over the edge.
Hold on, I'm just going to the exhibit challenge.
That's where we get the good stuff.
I'm here.
This is the exhibit challenge. That's it.
What? There's not that much customization also for a Pimp My Ride game, you know?
No. You would kind of hope for more.
Yeah. Just play Midnight Club three guys dishing.
MP3 recorder and headset mic for recording promos while you're driving, I guess.
Okay, what else do we have? Pull out
Clothes rack and storage unit.
Okay, that's shit.
Coffee maker and toaster.
Whoa!
Headset with audio cued stings. Look at that thing.
That's
MP3 library for recording offline segments.
Okay, that one's good.
Mini fridge and microwave.
Oh shit!
A microwave in your car.
Fantastic.
That's it. That's the best upgrade you can get. Or the clothes rack and steam press. You can't do both, which is kind of strange.
Let's go with the microwave oven so she can make she can make a pizza pocket while she's driving.
That's perfect.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
brilliant for safety.
And then maybe we can get a pizza pocket brand deal for this episode.
Oh yes.
You know?
See, now you're thinking. Another plasma screen. That's it. That's the best upgrade.
Yeah, that's our classic. That's our classic touch. Is the plasma screen.
I like that it says MTV Pimp My Ride the complete first series. I think. I guess we include the DVD for the Pimp My Ride first series in there too.
Of course. Because who doesn't want to watch that while they're driving? I think that guy died. Oh my god, that woman got pushed. Oh my god. Oh my god. Multiple people were killed. I swear to God, if they copy our cheetah print, I'm gonna lose it. There's gonna be a legal battle.
Oh, they didn't.
Oh, they didn't. They copied our body kit though. Same body kit.
Now, you know the Bruiser's designed to go fast, right? So you need rims that reflect that. Say 17-inch Pro Race carbon fiber ones.
What? That is so tight.
Okay.
We got you a mini fridge and a microwave oven in your car.
What? Oh my god.
What is the grill bit for?
That's so that it can cool off. You know, you put your hot pocket there so it cools off a bit. You don't want to shove it directly into your gob.
Imagine you're driving down the highway and you have to lean over to the passenger side to pop that open.
Someone's
to put
gonna
your pizza
die.
pockets in.
Someone's gonna get themselves killed. That's why we have a good lawyer here on Pimp My Ride and a great contract.
Yeah.
Okay, this I like.
Well, there's one more thing. You've officially been pimped. Sweet work.
I still don't know what the exhibit bar is.
No clue.
I don't know how to increase that. All right, who do you want to pimp? Harry? I feel like we can put a jacuzzi in there.
Oh, the man would be.
Okay, guys. We're done with this live stream.
You, when Carson hosts of our Road to Length of...
What's this? That's where this
I
picture
took
get off
Allstate
this.
first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I did not.
Let me see this real quick and I'll get off. Ken Rosenberg in a Mercedes. That was in a Ford. Or a Lincoln. Hello. Yeah, we're almost done with this live stream. I'm gonna get off in a bit. I'm just watching something random. Almost 25 years later. It should be 25th anniversary. I thought you were behind the wheel, Ken. Sonny? I don't know what's gonna be. I'm excited for it. It's fun. That's Kent Paul. He looks like. Okay, he looks like the game. Mercedes. Oh. Who the hell are you? I do videos, yeah. I was watching something weird, and some weird guy was on there. Some guy I'd never seen before. Yeah, he's killing some time, like I said. That's the part I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna shut down in a little bit.
Fuck my neighbor, he's a piece of shit. Fuck my neighbor, he can suck my prick. Fuck my neighbor, he can go to hell. Fuck my neighbor, he can go to jail. Fuck my neighbor, he's a stupid piece of shit. Fuck my neighbor, he can suck my dick. Fuck my neighbor, he's a stupid fucking prick. Fuck my neighbor, he can suck my shit. Yeah! Randy! Everyone is here! Alright. This one goes out to you, Joe! Fuck my neighbor, he's a piece of shit. Fuck my neighbor, he can suck my prick. Fuck my neighbor, he can go to hell. Fuck my neighbor, he can go to jail. Fuck my neighbor, he now has a girl. Fuck my neighbor, he can rock her world. Fuck my neighbor, he's a piece of shit. Fuck my neighbor, he can suck my dick. Fuck my neighbor, he's a stupid prick. Fuck my neighbor, he can suck my dick. Everybody, while you're a helicopter here.
I mean, I'm trying to get Randy down from his.
Okay, guys, we're done. We're done right now. We're gonna come back on later on. I don't know time, but yeah, we're done.
The Atari 2600 was popular, 50 years ago, but today, not so much.
It looks old.
What if I told you I have an Atari 2600 here that'll actually make you care about the console again? Let me show you why. Alright guys, this came from a viewer of the channel here, and yeah, it looks like an Atari 2600 from the outside, and I think it kind of is. I mean, at first glance you can see it looks like Atari 2600, but looking at the back, you can see it looks a little strange, right? But let me see what else he included here. We've got what appears to be an Atari game inside this little package here. We have, oh yeah, I'm not going to show you that yet. I'll show it to you in a minute. But you're going to get the gist of what's happening here in just a second, because of this controller here.
An Xbox 360 controller? What the hell? We're done, guys. I'm gonna get off. So I'm done. See ya. See you, guy.